Hello there folks, and welcome to Loch Croispol on the Durness limestone lochs. Unusually for me, I'm going to tell you exactly where this one is. And the reason for that is really because there's no hiding it. It's a very obvious and distinctive venue. The reason I'm fishing it is I watched a video on YouTube by a young lady from Germany who has a channel called Aina Outdoors, and her and her partner fished this loch and they caught rather a nice trout. I haven't had much time for fishing recently, and this is just up the road for me, so I popped up and gave it a go for a few hours. Unfortunately, the conditions were very difficult. This is supposedly the easiest of the limestone lochs, with the biggest amount of fish, but on this particular day, as you can see, the water's churned up. There was a very strong wind, so this video is going to be short. There's no big fish landed, there's no screaming reels. Well, there's a little bit of screaming reels, but it's the only footage I got, it's the only fishing I've done, and as I say, it is what it is. So, if you stay at the end, fair play to you. The good news is, I'm going to be doing a lot more fishing in the next couple of weeks, because I've got some time off work, and I hope to bring you along with me and show you some new lochs and venues. In the meantime, this is what I was doing recently, and I hope you enjoy it for what it's worth. Cheers! By this point in the day, I have been fishing for a good few hours, to be honest, and I've fished the entire, what would be the west side of the loch, or the southwest side of the loch, and working my way towards the east. Everything to the left of the screen here is extremely shallow, for a long way out, and then there's a deep hole, which is on the north east side of the loch, and runs for most of the bank. Sort of ahead of me here on the right hand side, you can see how it's steep. Well, it goes into a very pronounced shelf, so it's 6 feet, it's very rocky around the sides. About 6 feet out, it just shelves off into deep water. So I'm starting to cover more of these areas, having covered all the shallows before. I'd hoped that there might be fish cruising the shallows, taking advantage of the wave cover, but they just didn't seem to be there on this particular day. I persevered, and this is me starting to move into the deeper water now. gets away with the fly as well. Curses! I have to work hard for that. And it's the knot. The knot gave way. Well, I tied that fly on, so losing the fish because the knot failed, that's entirely on me. But hey, you live and learn. And talking about learning points, I think I made a mistake here by wading. As I previously said, one side of this loch is very shallow for a very long way out, but the bottom is sand and silt, so wading creates big clouds of stour and probably scaring the fish. And the other side, as you can see below me here, is very rocky and stony, but as you go further down the shoreline, the gap between the shore, the stony shelf you can walk on, and a very deep drop gets narrower and narrower. In fact, by the time I got to that pink bucket ahead of me here, I came out of the water entirely because it just didn't feel safe. So for me, if I was to come back here, I would recommend taking a boat rather than trying to wade. Many of you have probably fished here before, and if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but for me, I think a boat's probably the best way to fish this loch, particularly with the wind going the way it was on this day. I'll stick a link in the description on how you can come and fish here, to the website, etc. Oh, and just finally, don't be alarmed by what's floating on the surface of the water here. It's just algae. You don't need to call environmental health, I promise. Oh! Ah, no! I slipped a fish took that as it landed. Ah, no! I just couldn't get my footing. Tell me it took the fly. It was just a tug. Ah, I took the fly. It was just a tug.